Hi folks, Josh Clark again. Now that you have an idea of what conditions you should be looking for on a site, both natural and man-made, I'm going to walk you through how to create a base map on GIS so that you can complete a site inventory. First things first, I'm going to take us to our GIS website. As you folks know, I'm going to find an address to kind of zoom in to show what we're doing. The address that I'm going to use is from our GIS homework, 700 Mattawa Court. As that comes up on the map, I'm going to zoom in. And as the site comes into focus, I'm going to start thinking about what layers I might need for my map. I'm going to go to my layers list. The first big one that I typically turn on for a base map is for parcels. This allows us to know what the boundaries of the site is and gives us an idea of some of the context and setbacks around the site. In Anne Arundel County, I also like to turn on the septic systems to see if we might be looking for a septic field on site. Just a reminder that when you turn on this layer, that doesn't specifically say where the septic field is, just that the site has one. I also like to have an idea of what the slopes and the topography will look like on site. So I will turn that on here as well. And because typically our work involves stormwater, I would also like to turn on the stormwater utilities that are found in county. So I'm going to just go ahead and turn on each of these guys. Keep in mind you don't want to make the site angry. You can see that it's still thinking through down here. So the next one I'm going to turn on is the impervious surfaces. That gives us an idea of what structures we're looking at on site. And typically, I won't leave this layer on, but I would like to get an idea of what soils we might be looking at. So I'll just do a quick look at what we're dealing with. It looks like we're looking at B soils, so some moderate to high infiltration rates, which opens up some possibilities for the BMPs that we might be thinking of. So again, I'm going to turn that off. This is a good base map to start. It's a good combination of the context of the site. It also shows us the ortho map, which is the satellite image. So it gives us an idea of what kind of coverage we might be looking at. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go to our tools. I'm going to hit print. I like the general layout of what that's giving us. Remember that anything that's in that red rectangle will be what is printed. I'm going to label this as base map. You can label it whatever you want under title. And I'm going to change the resolution here to 150 so that it's a little bit of a crisper image when it's done. I'm going to print it as a PDF so that I can easily print that off for a hard copy. And I'm going to go ahead and hit print. Again, this should not be anything new to folks. If you need this to go a little bit slower, feel free to go back into the session 2 videos and review the GIS work there as well. So again, the website is preparing the file. It's taking a bit of a minute here. It's completed. I'm going to hit open file. And you will see that the document is ready. So as you see this PDF kind of presented here, if you're thinking about printing this out and having it on site so that you can take notes, this might be a little difficult to kind of have blank space to draw on or write on. So in concert with this, with this, in combination with this, I'm actually going to also go back. I'm going to go back to my map in my layer list, and I'm going to give myself some white space to work with. So first of all, since I have topography on the other map, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the terrain data here. Also, because I have utilities kind of lined up already, I'm going to turn off utilities. So that kind of opens up the map. But again, we still have that ortho, so we don't have a lot of white space. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the ortho map, which is the very last toggle under the layer. So that gives me a lot of white space, right? So I'm going to go back to tools. I'm going to hit print. Magically, that red box shows up again. And if you haven't moved your mouse on the map, it should actually line up almost perfectly to what the map was you just created. So from there, I'm going to change this title just for my purpose to blank map. I'm going to go ahead and hit print. Again, the website's working on it. That went a little faster this time. I'm going to hit open file. And again, I now have a new map that I can actually take some pretty good notes on when I'm on site. Once you have your base map created, it's a good idea to take copies of them with you when you conduct site visits so that you can make notes and sketch out the existing conditions that we've kind of discussed through the second and third recordings of this series. This is known as a site inventory, and this information coupled with your base map will become the basis of the design. This will be useful as you complete capstone proposals part 2 and 3. This concludes your recording. As you investigate the conditions, as you're working through your site maps and come up with questions, don't hesitate to let me know.